What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm back with another episode of Notre Dame Primetime Live at the Voice of College Football Notre Dame, presented by FanDuel. I am your host, Ryan Vervell, with my co-hosts, Ben and Sean, a.k.a. ND Forever. We are back again with another episode. Got a few things to get into. Not going to be too long of a show tonight. Obviously, with it being the offseason, there's not too much Notre Dame football news going on. I know currently Notre Dame basketball is taking on number 24 ranked Louisville right now in the second half. So we'll make sure we keep an eye on that as well. But anyways, been a pretty long week, it feels like. How have you guys been? How are you guys doing?
Doing good. There's no college football on, so not really anything was watched.
Hey, Ben, how you been?
What'd you say, Sean?
Ben, how you been?
You've been.
Fuck.
Sean, how you been, man?
I interrupted you. No college football to watch. What?
There's no college football to watch. Been watching college basketball. Both my fucking basketball teams fucking suck. Shout out Cincinnati for getting fucking raw dogged on live television in this fucking great state of Texas.
Right in. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Notre Dame basketball got raw dogged by Syracuse, but we expected that.
Yeah, I'm good. Getting ready for the Super Bowl, which it's weird because it feels like it hasn't really been presented, right? I feel like this is pretty a weird Super Bowl week. Move the Pro Bowl after the Super Bowl, please. And then, it's just getting ready for that. And
did we lose Sean again? It feels like I kind of agree with what Sean said, where I don't know about you guys, I just feel like there's not as much hype around this year's Super Bowl. Feels like it's not, which is weird because the Super Bowl is always hype. It's like the most watched sporting event every single year for the most part. It's not as hype. The Pro Bowl is just, I don't even know what the Pro Bowl is anymore. We had Garrett Bowles, I think, score like 3 touchdowns in a flag football game. So that's, when you have an offensive lineman be the offensive MVP for a Pro Bowl, that's certainly something.
Pat Coogan.
It was Joe Burrow, Joe Flacco, and Shedeur Sanders walking out there together. Joe Burrow looked over. He's like, "What the fuck am I doing?"
Yeah,
why?
It makes perfect sense to extend your off-season coverage, have something in the off-season because fans will want to see it in the off-season because the season's over, and players will be able to play in it who are in the Super Bowl. It just makes sense to move it after the Super Bowl, doesn't it?
What they should do is this. So the Olympics is coming in 2028. The 2027 season Pro Bowl, so not this upcoming season, but the season after that, you're going to get your move it to the end of the season, move it to post Super Bowl, and make the Pro Bowl only players who want to play in the Olympics. And then have the quarterbacks, the top 4 rated quarterbacks, draft their Pro Bowl teams. And then, so it's got to be 4 teams total, and then play a round robin of flag football, and then a tournament of flag football based off the round robin. Winning team goes to the Olympics and Team USA.
Yeah. I will say it's interesting that Shedeur Sanders and Joe Flacco got to be
Justin Fields got invited. Justin Fields got invited.
The Pro Bowl is the funniest shit ever.
He said, "I don't
want it. This is the only thing This is the only thing I'm good at, and I don't want to do it. This is the one thing I'd be good at. Is flag.
What's the whole thing? Did Josh Allen just decline and say I'm not going?
Playing a fucking stupid flag football game.
Yeah.
But does that mean they lose their Pro Bowl selection?
Yes.
No,
or do they still get? Oh, okay.
If you're voted in as the top, you still get it. But if you're invited and you decline it, you don't get it.
Okay.
Yeah,
so as long as you're voted in,
decline it, you don't get it.
Yeah, but he was already voted in, wasn't he?
I don't know.
So how many guys declined to where you get to Joe Flacco and Shador?
Well, Joe Flacco, there's
Probably 28 other quarterbacks.
That's 28 other quarterback.
In the AFC, 28 other quarterbacks.
A backup quarterback is playing in the
So
Pro
did
Bowl.
Did Jarrett Stidham say no? I'm good.
Tyler Huntley
That's great.
rejected it. I bet. Yeah.
I pushed the narrative so hard. Riley Leonard should have been in the Pro Bowl, but Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah. Anthony Richardson too. I mean, that's where we're.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah. No,
Maybe a wide
Garrett Bowles
receiver.
was MVP. He'd be killing it in flag football. Like,
Oh man. Oh. All right, let's get into a few of our topics. Like I said, it's going to be a pretty short show tonight. First things first. I know last time we talked, we mentioned that Notre Dame had lost the best defensive backs coach in the country, in Mike Mickens, and we were kind of speculating on who they might replace him with. Well, we found out was it late this week or late last week, that Notre Dame hired Illinois defensive coordinator Aaron Henry as a co-DC and defensive backs coach, basically the same position that Mickens was. He's a former Wisconsin safety who was drafted in 2013 to the Raiders, played 1 year with the Raiders before retiring from the NFL, got into coaching in 2014 as a GA for Arkansas, and he's been in coaching ever since. He's been with the Illini since 2021 as a DB's coach, and then was later elevated to full DC in 2023. He's developed guys like Kirby Joseph, Devon Witherspoon, and Sidney Brown during his time at Illinois. Again, I know there were a lot of people that, like, when they first found out about this hire, were kind of like, oh, this guy sucks. This isn't great. This isn't a good hire. When it takes a simple Google search to figure out this guy's resume, and he's actually people get this misconstrued. He's not going to be our DC. He's going to be specifically our DB's coach. Co-DC, Chris Ash is running that operation. Freeman has, the end-all, be-all say on that operation. I think, again, this is kind of a more Mike Mickens thing where he's kind of taking a step down from the job he had at Illinois, but he's doing what he's best at, which is when he's a pure DB's coach. When you're putting guys in the league like Devon Witherspoon at Illinois, I think that's pretty impressive. So what were your guys' thoughts on this hire? Sean, I'll let you go first.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's awesome. It's crazy when you poach a defensive coordinator to be a DB's coach, but yeah, the co-defensive coordinator thing. If I'm not mistaken, Mickens was co-defensive coordinator last year too.
He
right?
was, yeah.
Yeah, so just copy and paste in terms of title, but yeah, I mean, he's developed some pretty good talent. It's going to be hard to replace Mickens. I think it would be unfair to Henry to give him those expectations that Mickens had. I think that he's going to have high expectations, but this year it shouldn't matter. Where it's really going to matter is next year. How are those guys going to be next year? That's going to be the telling story for him. I feel like this year we're not going to know, to be honest, how he's been. We're just going to be like, oh, we have the same DBs. He did fine, but it's a great hire. He's developed great guys. Poaching a defensive coordinator as your DB's coach is such a flex move. I will say that I hope that he can continue the DB trend that we've been on. I hope that he can. Ben?
I think this is a good pickup. I think this is a realistic belief in the future as well, because when you poach a DC to become your a coach for a position, and the idea he's not currently getting the DC, I think we're pretty much setting up the presidents. We're setting up the idea, better word to use, that this could probably be the last season with Chris Ash, and maybe this guy takes over next year as a DC. This guy has play calling experience, and maybe that was something that we kind of didn't see us having with Mike Mickens. So that's why we kind of why we maybe weren't that high up on keeping Mike Mickens right now, because at the end of the day, this guy has way more experience than Mike Mickens does.
Mm-hmm. He's been coaching a lot longer than Mickens. and he has 2 years of play calling experience at DC. I know a lot of people are criticizing him specifically as a DC the last 2 years. Illinois' defense has kind of taken a step back, but I also think that partly is due to they lost a lot coming into that 2024 season, and especially in 2025, losing guys like Sidney Brown that were like leader on that defense. And also, again, he's at Illinois, right? Like, I think Brett Bielema's done an amazing job kind of elevating that program above where it was. But let's be real, the talent that you can get at Illinois is not the same talent that he's going to get to work with at Notre Dame defensively, and specifically in the defensive back department. He's going to be working with the best defensive backs in the country. So even if he's not the developer or as talented as a DB's coach as Mike Mickens is, he's going to have more talent in this room than he's probably ever had in his entire coaching career. So I think it kind of evens out a little bit.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think that the DBs were all Mike Mickens, which the answer is yes, but do you think that there's the chance that, Freeman as coordinator, even though he's obviously more of a linebacker guy, more of a right, but do you think that maybe Mickens came into a good situation? I don't think so. I think that everything that he developed entirely by him. I just wanted to ask the question if you think that Mickens made the DB room what it is, or do you think it was kind of established and he kind of just fully went in?
I think Mickens made what it is.
I think Mickens helped. I'm not going to say it was 100% all Mickens, but it was definitely majority Mickens. His ability to scout talent was a big part of it that I think Mickens did the best at. I'm not going to say like, oh, Mike Mickens is the reason that Larry Moore is as good as he is. Larry Moore from day one, Benjamin Morrison said that he thought Larry Moore was the best defensive back in the room. That was day one of camp. That's so it's a little like I'm not going to openly say that. I think his ability to scout talent is what Mickens did the best. Same thing with Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner was a top corner his freshman year. Kobe Bryant, his first year as a sophomore, was a top corner at Cincinnati. Benjamin Morrison that first full year, he was a top corner. Like we've always been able to give him he's always been able to get the top talent, and then they get better throughout time. So I could say that's overall the whole coaching staff as a whole, more than anything, on how good they end up being.
I agree. It was impressive what Mickens did, and I think it's, if not all, majority on Mickens with how good of a job he did. But Henry, I mean, I agree with Ryan on the sense of this is a solid get. Probably as good as you could get, arguably, right? With where we're at. I think this shows
a lot of the hate that I'm seeing on him is just like, oh, well, look at him this past year. This is the worst roster Illinois had in 4 years.
I agree with
he
Ben.
didn't do that bad.
I agree with Ben on the aspect, maybe not in the same as Chris Ash leaving, of it being security. I think, too, it shows security in Marcus Freeman, of like Marcus Freeman being committed to come in and develop what I'm building, right? I think this is, obviously he'd have to fill it anyway, but a defensive coordinator coming, he had to have some type of confidence, right? So I think this is Freeman saying, I'm here, follow me and let me lead you.
Yeah, again, I think you have to have a lot of faith in the direction of where you're projecting in terms of where your future job status is for you to take what is viewed as a demotion. But I also get from the standpoint, like, being a DC at Illinois compared to being a defensive back / co-DC at Notre Dame, maybe that necessarily isn't as much of a demotion as maybe people would think, because Notre Dame is what it is. Notre Dame is a higher brand, has a better reputation, it's a better football program, right? So they have that going for them. I think that a lot of people get this, like you said, Ben, people are criticizing him for the DC job that he's done last couple of years when he's not going to be the DC. He's not going to be the play caller. He's not going to have, I'm not going to say any impact because he is a co-DC. I don't necessarily know what that looks like, but he's not going to have full autonomy with what happens in terms of like play calling and everything. And you heard the stuff that came out about Jay Valai, the Oklahoma, where he was having demands where he wanted to have full autonomy with the defense. He wanted to have full control of what DBs played and what DBs didn't play, where they played, and he didn't want to have to answer to Chris Ash. He wanted.
That's my thing. That's where when I hear shit like that, that's where I'm like, okay, we're looking out for the players. Most coaches would be like, yeah, fuck it, you're the DB's coach. You get to decide that. But we're looking out for the guys we just brought in and the guys that we just got to stay. Because those decisions were made in a way, because Mike Mickens is probably being reached out to, but in a way they were made under the Mike Mickens era of the DB room.
Yeah.
Now it's different. If you're going to be able to tell a guy he's able to come in and be like, hey, Christian Gray, you know what? Fuck you. Go to the bench. So-and-so is going to play over. Zachary is going to play over you this year because I think you don't do that well or something like that. Something stupid like that where Christian Gray agreed to stay because he was agreed to give this. I think Henry is coming in and he's accepting the idea that I'm taking over the best defensive back room in the country. And I'm just going to make sure that I can get these guys better and better every week. I don't need to control who plays and who doesn't play.
Just like Juwan Sanders.
Yeah.
Juwan Sider, you mean?
Sider, sorry. When he replaced
Juwan Sanders.
But yeah, that's the thing. That's like
football legend.
That was what was reported about Valai is he's like, I'm going to take the DB's coach. He already was a DB's coach. He wasn't even a DC. He's like, I want more power than what Mike Mickens had. I want full autonomy to how we run our defense in the defensive backfield, what schemes we run, who I have on the field, how many plays they get. And this was the kicker. This is what kind of was like Notre Dame was like, yeah, I'm good. Was he said the only person I want to have to answer to is Freeman. Yes, he didn't even have to bypass Ash. He didn't even have to.
He's bypassing so many levels of seniority there. He's not even bypassing just Ash. He's bypassing every other defensive coach around him then.
Yeah.
Because no other defensive coach gets that presence. No other defensive coach is allowed to do that besides Chris Ash, because Chris Ash control. So they're basically saying, okay, here, you're the DC.
Yeah.
But we're gonna list you as the DB coach, as assistant defensive coordinator. So if we suck next year, you could say, well, I'm not the defensive coordinator, I'm just the assistant. It's all on the DC. Like,
yeah.
That's why I don't agree with the idea that we should just. And when we saw like, oh, there's people reaching out about this job, I would fucking hope we have one of the best quarterback rooms in the country.
Yeah.
Like this, like I don't think people understand like Notre Dame, and purely off hype alone, at the end of the day, we have to play the games. But Notre Dame is at a whole different level next year as a DB room than any other team in the country. Of course, DB coaches are going to want to take it over because then they could staple their name on that room and be like, hey, NFL team, look what I did here with a top defensive back room. Like, yeah.
Well, and I also wonder, like, I know a lot of people are worried about how this would affect the guys that just came in, like Kari Adams and Joey O'Brien and Aiden Pouncey, and even the guys that have been committed, like Khalil Terry, Ace Alston, Zay Hassan in the 2027 class. When I made this post, I actually had Zay Hassan reach out to me, and he goes, dude, I'm so excited about this hire. And I was like, for a recruit to say that, like, I think that means a lot of how good this hire is because we're all fans and we can sit up here and say what we want about Aaron Henry is our thoughts on him at Illinois as a coach, as a DC. But when you have recruits that you're trying to continue to build on the success you've had in that room, say things like, dude, I'm excited, so excited about this hire. When there was worry that you lose Mickens, maybe Zay Hassan is looking elsewhere. There were teams trying to get Ace Alston on visits, and Ace Alston came out and said, like, hey, I'm still locked in with Notre Dame, but I'm just interested to see how they go about replacing Mike Mickens. I think this was, and you hear a lot of the national people, for how late it is in the cycle, this was an absolute home run hire. So, yeah.
Well, like, I guarantee you, I'm not going to say it. Like, he probably called his wife. said, "Oh my God, baby, like put on the special dress tonight. We're going out. Like I just got the Notre Dame job. Get like ching ching, motherfucker. I'm here." Called his wife, probably called his mom and dad, probably called his family. And then next call, Leonard Moore. Call after that, Christian Gray. Call after that, Chris Ash. And somewhere in there, you have all the recruits. So they're probably like, he probably told him like, "Hey, like I just want you to know, like I'm giving you everything I can on this. Like there will, if you have any idea, if you think that I'm gonna not give commitment level because I'm not Mike Mickens, or you think I guarantee you my commitment level will be just as high as Mike Mickens's." And that's all recruits want to hear, realistically, because they can be told all they want. Oh, like I'm gonna treat you like a king and shit like that. But at the end of the day, it's the commitment level. That's what the recruits want. They want the commitment level from their DB coaches at this point because they've already agreed to go somewhere verbally. So it takes a lot for them to not want to go there anymore.
Yeah, and I think also it helps when you have a guy like that with the name of Devon Witherspoon as a guy that you developed. And what was he? Was he a top 5 pick? Was he a top 10 pick? Witherspoon?
10.
Top 10? Yeah. So I think that definitely helps as well. But anything else on Aaron Henry, you guys?
No.
All right. Well, before we get to our next hire, we'll get to here in a second. Our friends over at FanDuel, they released their national championship odds. Notre Dame has opened up as the preseason favorite to win the national championship at plus 650. I believe tied with Ohio State, or Ohio State may have moved down to plus 700. But what are your guys' thoughts? Obviously, this preseason stuff doesn't matter, but you saw CJ Carr as the favorite to win the Heisman. Notre Dame is now the favorite to win the national championship. Do you like the hype? Do you not like the hype? I know some people in the fan base were like, "We don't like this. This is like a bad omen." Like I don't like being, a lot of people having us preseason ranked number 1 heading into the season. How do you guys feel about it?
I'm conflicted. There's a part of me that's like, you're actually good when you're getting talked about like this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually like a real. But the other part of me is like, I don't like it because I don't want the expectation of there not being a chip on our shoulder. I don't want players to think it's going to be easy. I don't want players to think we're going to win. I mean, I want them to think that, but I don't. I kind of do agree. I'm like, pick the win. Like, I guess we're not winning anymore. Like, I don't know. Like, it's weird. It's hard. I mean, I've never been in this position, I guess. So, I mean, I love it because I'm like, we're good. And I hate it because I was like, well, now we're not going to win. So, like, I'm like, come on. Like, I think it's a good thing more than it is a bad thing, but because I trust Freeman, but I hope he keeps players with that chip on their shoulder.
Yeah. Man?
Well, I fucking hate this shit. Like, when I look at this shit, I see Notre Dame minus 1,800 odds to make the playoffs at fucking 11:30 a.m. on on Sunday, Selection Sunday. But I fucking hate it. I hate preseason odds. They're fucking terrible. But like it happens. Teams who are preseason number 1s do, I wouldn't say most of the time, but about 50-50 shot you actually win the whole thing. Like they're not terrible on odds wise. And I heard Josh Pate say it. I agree with Josh Pate. Very rare time I do. Notre Dame should be the number 1. They should be the number 1 odds. Because look up and down at their squad. What is Notre Dame not going to have? Your biggest question mark is at running back, and the guy coming in at running back averaged 9 yards a carry last year. Now, that was on like 24 carries, but he had 224 yards. Well, really, it's 10 yards a carry. But, like, it's completely understandable why we're number 1. Notre Dame has no reason. Like, this is sort of like, I don't want to say the Penn State shit, because I think CJ Carr's a lot better than Drew Allen even ever could be. But we have the best DB room in the country. We had the top 3 probably the second best DB room this past year. and we added to it. The defensive tackles, like our biggest problem was size. We got size. And now we have outside edge rushers. We have guys who are hyped up in the portal. Like we have everything. Like it completely makes sense for our number one. Now I pray to Jesus Christ that we see plus 650 and be like, why the fuck isn't it minus 650? Wow. And we don't give a shit what this stuff says. Because fuck Vegas. We're here to take Vegas's fucking money.
I think on the aspect of like, wow, Penn State, they had 2 really good running backs, a guy who was supposed to go top 5 in the draft at quarterback, a defensive line that was really good, and like, wow, like that. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I think for minimum,
I don't think we're going to be like that at all because I think Penn State regressed way too much.
Yeah,
just to be even close.
Franklin too, but I think that Notre Dame minimum, because I think we get a bye week next year. Minimum semifinals, because if we have a bye week, we're in the final 8, and we win a New Year's Six bowl, and then you're in the semifinals. Minimum, this team is making the semifinals, I think.
If we get a bye week, we get a month and a half off football.
I don't like it.
That's fucking horse shit. At that point, I lose to Stanford to end the season.
Yeah.
Or no, we go to Syracuse. I'd lose to Syracuse. Be number 1, lose to Syracuse, go down to fucking 9 so we can play.
Wait, let Stephen Jelly have his legacy game?
Let Stephen Jelly have the legacy game. Let him thirst the fuck up. Or fuck it. Let Wisconsin catch us on a tough first week. I don't give a shit. I don't want to take a month and a half off football. That's terrible. This is why college football is dying.
It just keeps getting longer and longer.
If you make it to the national championship, your halfway point of the season by days is the 10th week of the season.
That's insane.
That's fucking crazy.
The natty is 5 days, almost a whole week.
The natty would be last week next year.
Yeah.
But do you agree that Notre Dame minimum makes the semifinals?
Oh yeah, I think requirements semifinals.
I think the requirement, yeah. That's
like so. I kind of thought about this today. I was going through head coaches. I'm like, what's like the dual? Like, what's something that could put them on the hot seat or possibly get them fired? Like, what's your Ryan Day? You have to do this year now. And I was like, Dan Lanning. Dan Lanning, I think, has to make some Final Four. Sarkisian has to make the playoffs. I would even say Sarkisian has to win a first round game if he doesn't get a bye.
He might have to make a natty because he made the Final Four a couple years ago.
And everything, yeah.
But yeah, if they miss playoffs this year, I think Sark gets fired. Dan Lanning, I think if they miss the playoffs, I think he's on the hot seat. If he gets bounced in the first round, Lincoln Riley should be fired by week 6. When his ass is 3-3 at week 6, he's getting tarmacked.
I will say this off topic, and then I'm gonna go back to this. The ACC next year, that race is gonna be amazing.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
But I do think semifinals minimum. I think we get a bye week, and I think we win our New Year's Six bowl against a Texas Tech or something. And then the real test is this. It's going to be I think next year will be the hardest playoffs yet. You're going to have probably a Kiffin and Levitt LSU. You're going to have Arch Manning. Georgia's going to be good. Dante Moore's back. You're going to have Notre Dame. That playoff is going to be really hard next year. Really tough. So I am nervous on the aspect because I think the 4 teams that we listed last week for our top 4, Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon, blah, 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 however you want to do it, are arguably all even. You could flip a coin, and that team's going to win. So it makes it on the aspect of it comes down to coaching, players, but that's how tough of a year it's going to be, and that's why.
Well, if you look at the odds too, like again, they're all preseason odds, but
they're close,
right,
700,
right, very close. Right behind Notre Dame, you have Ohio State and Indiana and Texas that are all tied at plus 700. So they really think that Notre Dame is a tier above those 3 teams right now. But again, with preseason odds, they're not the best. Like Ben said, the Penn State point, because I've seen people bring that up. Well, what happened at Penn State? They lost one game, and they completely fell apart. I think it was a little different because the whole notion around that season for Penn State, and I guarantee you the team heard it, I guarantee you Franklin heard it, is James Franklin cannot win the big game But if there was ever a year for Penn State to actually do it, it would be with this team, with this year. If it doesn't happen, then it'll never happen. That was the narrative.
They beat Oregon in overtime. They make the playoffs, I think.
Well, no, that's my thing. I think the big thing, I think it killed their spirits losing that Oregon game. They came out flat against UCLA. UCLA with pretty decent offense, put up a good amount of points. They killed the spirits of the defense. And realistically, if you ask most Penn State people, the only game that was going to be an understandable loss was going to be Ohio State. Every other game, there's no excuse to lose. And when I look at these teams like Oregon, there's no excuse for Oregon to lose. Ohio State, I'm going to say there's no excuse to lose. People say otherwise. I still think Ohio State has a top 5 squad in the country. Texas, no excuse to lose. Georgia, no excuse to lose. LSU has no excuse to lose. Indiana, I'll say it's no excuse right now, but it could change come the beginning of the season. We'll see how Nick Marsh and Josh Hoover do, but we'll say right now it's no excuse.
You could argue, not saying I agree with it, you could argue Miami.
Miami also. Miami, they just paid the fucking quarterbacks $8 million. They're paying $11 million total for this fucker. That I would actually say purely off the.
I thought he stayed at Duke.
No, he's going to Miami, isn't he?
No, so what they did is the offer was $10 million.
Yeah.
They owed Duke, I think, like $1 million for a buyout. So they had to give Duke an extra $1 million, which is where the 11 comes from. On top of that, they also gave his sister, who is currently who was a soccer player at Oregon. I don't know if she transferred or not, but they offered her, promised her NIL to transfer, and they promised her a starting job on the soccer team at Miami. They offered, I believe it was either his mom or his dad, a job at the university. And they bought him, I think, a brand new car.
Damn.
So realistically, like the financial ties to this kid for next year is $12 million. Based off the financials alone, Miami doesn't have a fucking excuse. Not saying the team wise, I don't know how good Miami will be next year, replacing Ruben Bain and Mesidor is hard as hell. But
they got to replace all. I believe 4 of the 5 starters on the offensive line are gone.
Who,
so
Oregon?
They have to replace that. No, Miami. So
I'm most nervous about Texas, Oregon, and Georgia.
I'm nervous. I don't know about Georgia. I don't know if we'll play Georgia. Because I think Georgia will win the SEC again. And I think Georgia will lose Sugar Bowl again.
Sugar Bowl runners up for the 3rd straight year.
Yeah.
All right. The other odds that also came out, which I get why they kind of do it, but I kind of also at the same time don't. Why these things come out so far in advance. But they dropped the line about a few weeks ago, the opening line for the Notre Dame-Wisconsin game. Notre Dame opened up as a 19.5-point favorite. Now that number on FanDuel has dropped to 16.5 over the last 2 weeks. So people are kind of putting money on that Wisconsin plus 19.5. How do we feel about this line? I think, obviously, there's no reason we should lose this game, right? But I do think people.
Could you imagine?
I do think people are kind of.
I can't wait.
Underestimated.
Wisconsin to go up 7-0 first drive of the game. They get like a lucky touchdown.
Oh god!
And it's Twitter. Fucking season's over. What the fuck? Oh,
Mickens, I miss you, Christian Gray.
I can't wait to see Chris. I can't wait to see Chris Ash's name on the Epstein list. There is some shit like that will be tweeted,
dude. No, So here's my thing, right? I think
Mike Brock called another fucking a wide receiver screen pass.
Oh Jesus! I do think that again. I think Notre Dame should win this game without a doubt. They should win this game handily, but I do think people in the fan base, and I think people that really haven't paid attention to what Wisconsin has done just this offseason in the portal. They've completely revamped that roster. It's a completely different roster than what it was this past season from a talent standpoint. I think we're underestimating Wisconsin a little bit.
Oh no, Wisconsin. If we beat Wisconsin by 19, if we cover that 19 and a half, it's going to be like a last second cut. It's going to be like we score a touchdown at the end. I think we probably score 30 points and Wisconsin scores like 14. I don't think this is going to be a 40-point blowout.
A Sunday game too. I mean, do we really think Wisconsin's going to be a better than a 7-win team next year?
Yeah, I do. I think this is. I will say this. I think next year Wisconsin will be the most desperate Wisconsin ever.
You trust Fickle?
I think this is Fickle. His job's on the line. Since Fickle's job's been on the line, he's undefeated last season when his job was on the line.
Okay, so you think they what's their record, like 9-3? Like, what's their schedule?
I was gonna say, let me pull up their schedule. I don't know their exact schedule off the top of my head.
Notre Dame. I hope it's an easy Big Ten schedule, so like Indiana, so we can be like, yeah, we beat this team.
Like how the fuck? Why is Penn State ranked? Penn State went fucking 7-6.
Yes,
and these motherfuckers are ranked 22 on this fucking website. I'm annoyed. They play. I would say they're hurt. So they play through. Okay, outside of us, they play 3 other ranked teams: Penn State, and then USC and Iowa. Then I would say this is an easy schedule. They play Western Illinois, Eastern Michigan, Michigan State, UCLA, Rutgers, Maryland, Purdue, Minnesota. I think
no
this
way.
Here's my thing.
This is an 8-win team.
Here's my thing.
Fire Fickle. Then it's like
Here's my thing also about this. I wanted to mention this. I think Wisconsin is going to be better, much improved this season than they have been. And also, people forget. Wisconsin last year, towards the end of the season, they beat, I think it was 2 of their last 3 games were against ranked opponents, and they beat 2 of them.
They 2 out of their last 4 games. So they won the 2 games they won were against ranked opponents.
Yeah.
They played Oregon close. They lost by 14. And they played Michigan close and they lost by 14.
So what does that tell you? They play up.
They're not a terrible team.
Yeah,
they're not. It's just like we started with their expectations for the season just fell apart throughout the year after the Maryland loss. So, yeah.
I just think this is one of those things where as much as we love Freeman, right, and we think he's the guy, what has been the consistent struggle in his tenure at Notre Dame? The early season losses. And this is where you mentioned this, Sean, going back to our last topic about you have national championship aspirations. If Notre Dame comes into this year ranked as the number 1 team in the country preseason,
I hope not.
And you play Wisconsin, the target on your back in that game is absolutely immense. If you go in that game and you don't take Wisconsin lightly.
No, I'm not going to lie. I'm more worried week 2 against Rice than I am week 1 against Wisconsin. But I have to be real. We're going to beat Wisconsin. We're not going to cover 19.5 points because I don't think the game will be like that.
You're not worried about coming into this game overconfident?
No, because we're not going to have that problem because we don't have fucking retards out there.
Because leave no doubt, Ryan.
Leave no doubt.
Duh.
I'm just saying.
We don't have fucking idiots out there fucking playing. We have a bunch of smart kids that understand from last year any loss could fuck your season.
I'm just looking at it from what we've seen, and I think we all thought Freeman was past it after the Marshall and Stanford shit, and then you had the NIU shit happen.
I think he is past it.
And then again, it's not the same losing to Miami and A&M.
He beat A&M, and then but then he lost to Northern Illinois. But you lose on a redshirt freshman first start on the road in the rain. And then you lose to A&M in a shootout who made the playoffs. It's not the same. I think they're past it. I just think, I don't think we came out flat at the beginning of this year. Defensively, we did. But I think we just played some good teams. We just didn't get on the good side of it.
I'm more scared of, the week 3 through week 5 games where it's teams that we should dominate. Maybe we come up short and we start off pretty bad.
Going to Purdue and kind
maybe
of
that game. Maybe that game.
Yeah.
SMU, I'm worried about.
I think SMU catches us at a very inopportune time. Like they catch us right. Which is weird. Our final 4 games of the year.
You know what I can't fucking wait for?
What?
We're gonna find a way. We're gonna go undefeated going into the Boston College game. Then we're gonna play like shit like we did this year. And then the whole week of the SMU game, it's gonna be, oh, Notre Dame's gonna get upset. Notre Dame's gonna get upset. They're gonna get upset. They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose. Just like this year's Pitt game was. And then we go out there and we win by 40 points. And then we lose Syracuse next week when Stephen Jelly has his.
Is this a good point or a bad point?
Who is he talking about? Is he talking about?
He's talking about Penn State. He's talking about Penn State.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Well, yeah, it was my point. Like, Penn State shouldn't be ranked that high. A team that would fucking that played like shit in the worst conference Power 4 conference last year.
Thank you, Slav.
Took all their players, and now they're gonna play in the best conference in college football. Why the fuck are they ranked in the top 25? I wonder what's the over/under on fucking Penn State's wins next year.
Have you seen their schedule, Ben?
I don't give a shit what their schedule is.
I think you do. Their schedule is the easiest I've ever seen. It's
dude, they could be playing St. Mary's, a School of the Blind. I don't think this team is good.
I'm telling you, they don't play anybody except for USC, I think.
Okay, I do want to ask this really quick. So it's very early, but does Notre Dame cover that 16.5 point spread?
Yes.
16.5, I think they do.
I think they cover 19.5, 16.5. I think we come out the gate swinging. People are going to turn off the game at halftime.
If I were to place my money on it, I think 16.5 is a good enough bet. 19.5 is where you get into like the Wisconsin can score a late touchdown, stuff like that.
Do we think it's a game where it's kind of the game flow is more of like it's a competitive game for maybe the first half, and then like we saw back in 2021, Notre Dame just pulls away late? And
no, I think it's a better team.
No, I think I think this game will be over at halftime, like realistically in the minds of the players. Like it's got to come down to getting some stops in certain places. Like if we don't get a big stop on like 3rd and 8 to start off the half, maybe Wisconsin scores and we have to put a little bit more pressure on. But I think we'll be fine.
I'm so excited for this game because what is it? They're bringing back the Shamrock series for this year for this game. Mm-hmm. Like I'm interested to see what those uniforms look like.
I think it's going to be similar to like Green Bay Packers green with the gold.
You think we pull out like green alternates for this?
I mean, when we went to Chicago, the Bear Stadium,
we wore this.
We wore pretty much Bears uniforms. So I think they're going to be green. And I don't know what the helmet's going to look like. I think it's going to be the same helmet, but I think it's going to be green with some like Packers accents.
Do we see Wisconsin also pull out like an alternate like they did?
Yeah, they're going to have their W turned to an L on their jersey.
All right. Final topic of the night, and then we'll get up out of here. We didn't get to talk about this because it happened during our week break, but Al Washington left to go take the jet position with the Miami Dolphins. And
segment?
We can do that real quick.
Yeah, probably want to do that Washington thing.
Yeah,
after we show the video.
All right. Are you putting together your bet of the week?
It's Ben? Super Bowl week. Okay.
Super Bowl. Do we have to show the video anymore about making 2025 a winner?
Oh, we do. All right. Like Ben and Sean mentioned, it is Super Bowl Sunday. So Super Bowl Sunday is this weekend between the Seahawks and the Patriots. As of right now on FanDuel, the Seahawks are -4.5 point favorites. So what is the play this weekend, Ben, our betting expert?
I got 4 plays for you guys.
Okay.
First play, Patriots +4.5.
Good.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Sean. Second play, Kenneth Walker, 2 touchdowns. Do not make this a prop bet.
Okay.
Just put $10 on the first play. After that, put $10 on Kenneth Walker 2 touchdowns. So $10 wins you 926. Kenneth Walker 2 touchdowns. Second play. And now we're gonna get into the fun ones. The fun ones. Super Bowl repeat special. Both teams to record an interception at plus 180. It's got to be a defensive game. And it's got both teams are got to throw an interception.
Good.
And this one, I really like this one because I think it's funny. The Seahawks to throw a passing touchdown at the 1 yard line plus 700.
Plus 700?
Yeah.
Wow.
I would hope they learn a lesson, but
what they're gonna do is they're gonna make you think they're gonna run it, then they're gonna stack the fucking box. Then our boy JSN back right corner touchdown.
And it's picked off Malcolm Butler from the stands.
Oh, man.
Patriots signed Malcolm Butler.
Malcolm Butler. No, I
Malcolm
agree.
Butler.
I would pick the Patriots. I think the game's going to be a 24-17, 2017 defensive battle. I don't know about Kenneth Walker. Was Charbonnet out? Yeah. I will say Drake May, I think, gets a rushing touchdown. And then I do agree with both teams getting a pick on defense. And then I would say Cooper Kupp gets a touchdown.
JSN?
Cooper Kupp today. It's the Super Bowl. All the attention on JSN, and then you're going to see a Cooper Kupp touchdown in the Super Bowl.
See,
I didn't place these bets on FanDuel because they didn't have these bets. Shout FanDuel. But I will say this. These were my Super Bowl MVP bets. $5 Rashid Shaheed. $3 Cooper Kupp to win $273. Sprinkled a little $2 on the cold ass white boy Jake Bobo.
Oh no, you didn't. That's stupid.
Yeah, look at that right there. A little $2 on Jake Bobo Super Bowl MVP. That 2 touchdown game's gonna fucking feed families. And then I took Ramondre Stevenson over rushing yards, under on points, Patriots money line. I do think if the Patriots win, I don't see this being a high scoring game.
What?
I also say,
am I the only one that thinks the Seahawks are about to just absolutely dish out?
Can we agree that a quarterback won't win Super Bowl MVP?
Yeah, I don't think a quarterback's gonna
Yeah,
win.
no,
I don't think the quarterback's gonna play well enough.
You have Sam Darnold and freaking Drake May. Like, part of this, and I will admit, part of this is I'm still salty because I know that
We
if we
get
had
it. You wanted to see
Yeah.
perform in front of
Yeah,
the
you want to
Broncos.
see Bad
We get
Buddy
it.
fucking shake his ass in that fucking dress of his.
if Bo Nix had a fucking ankle, we win that game, and we're playing in Super Bowl right
I
now.
don't know about that one.
They almost lost to fucking Jared Stidham.
Bro, Jared Stidham and Bo Nix are the same quarterback.
No.
I don't think it's Knicks. I think it's coaching because if you kick that field goal and it's tied,
Nix
I don't
doesn't
know
throw
if-
an absolute duck in the fucking blizzard to Gonzo.
Bo Nix threw a picks right to the fucking defensive tackle's
Dude, Bo
chest
Nix is one
during
of
that Bills comeback. I don't want to hear Bo Nix gotta do something not stupid.
He also threw 3 touchdowns and outplayed Josh Allen.
Motherfucker, you were up by 21 points and you blew a lead. Josh Allen almost came back against the best defense in the NFL. What the fuck are we talking about?
And what did hold on? And what did
You understand you lose that
And
game?
Bo Nix evades 40-year-old Joey Bosa, throws it over.
Bo Nix evades a fucking guy who should be retired.
That was a late hit.
And Josh, a late hit? Are you fucking? Oh my god!
And a late hit, and the Denver Broncos Super Bowl chances, betting odds diminish.
Dude, hold on a second. But okay, really quick. Here's my thing though.
Bo Nix is system quarterback.
Drake May. By the way, I want to put this out. Drake May against. By the way, who people think should win MVP.
No, Stafford.
He had 6 net passing yards against the Broncos.
Motherfucker, he played in the blizzard.
So did
He's the best
Stidham.
defensive call in the fucking NFL.
So did Stidham.
Oh, he
Stidham.
he had 6 net passing yards against the Broncos. Yeah, because it was 25 fucking miles per hour wind.
Ryan's like
5 feet of snow.
Ryan's like, dang, he's like, man, Bo Nix just tore his ACL, but he ran for 2 yards in that game on a torn ACL.
Wait a minute. Hold on a
He
second.
must suck.
Hold on a second. No. Because believe me correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Stidham played in the same weather. Stidham threw for 170 yards. Yeah.
It's actually more impressive that Drake
Frable.
May didn't have to do shit to beat the best
Frable.
defense. In the
How many
NFL.
how many times in the second half did the fucking Patriots pass the football?
0.
None. Well, they couldn't.
3 fucking times.
The fourth quarter, I think it was like 1. No, 0.
One
They had-
time
well,
in the fourth quarter.
The only time they threw in
The one time they threw it in the fourth
you
quarter,
were
throw it away.
he threw it directly
running
into
the
the
whole
fucking
game.
fans.
He'll beat us, is what they said.
Jesus.
They didn't pass the
Anyways,
ball at all.
Anyways, we all know that if Bo Nix has an ankle, they win that football game. But
Ryan's
even
choking
as
on that
hold
ankle.
on, even as a Broncos fan, I will admit, I don't think whoever won that Broncos Patriots game was going to win the Super Bowl, because I think the Seahawks and the Rams were that much better. I think the Seahawks, we're about to see an absolute ass whooping.
No
in the Super Bowl.
way.
Wait, no,
Yeah,
you want to know what this reminds me of? You want to know what this reminds me of? And Sean, you might remember it. Remember that time the Peyton Manning-led Broncos went up against the #1 defense in the NFL, and all we heard was, "Oh, they're not that good. They didn't play anybody all year. Russell Wilson's carried by his run game." Blah 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 blah. And then what the fuck happened?
Like a
It was number
49-9 Super Bowl.
They
Seahawks
got
won.
fucking ran over, because guess who wins Super Bowls, Frable? Teams with
defense.
pretty good quarterbacks and amazing defenses. Guess what the fucking Patriots have? A pretty good quarterback and an amazing defense.
I would say
Patriots are winning Super Bowl. We're back in the Tom Brady era. We just didn't know it yet. Drake
you know,
May's a
I will.
clone.
One of my good friends, Jack, is a Patriots fan. He told me, he said, "This is different. People hated everyone from the Patriots dynasty was gone, and every time the Patriots won a Super Bowl, you expected it. This is the first time where internally you're like, wow, we knew we were going to be good, but no one had us being this good. And nobody's back that won a Super Bowl, really. So this is a completely new team."
You know what I think? I think this is Sean being an Arizona Cardinals fan, and he doesn't want to pick Seattle to win the Super Bowl. I think this is where
Oh,
this
that's
is coming from.
partial. Yeah, I don't want to pick the Seattle Seahawks to win
Fucking
the Super Bowl.
Colts fan. I just picked the fucking Patriots win Super Bowl.
I also the only reason I would remotely pick them is Sam Darnold, because I love the story. But
Wait a minute. You love a USC quarterback?
I don't love Sam Darnold, but I love the story of him like sucking and then actually being.
That's how much he's gonna pay his valve after this. Oh wait, that's the wrong one.
What?
Might not be PC of me to say that.
No, I do think
There's a
Seattle.
little
I
bit of
think
bias in there.
I think it's different. I do think Seattle wins this game by at least a couple scores. I
No,
don't think
let's
Drake.
end it on this. Let's end on this. Frable has not been right at all in this playoffs. He said they're gonna blow out the
That's
Bills.
not
Let-
true.
They were wrong. You said the
they would
Bills.
lose to-
You said no. You said you're gonna blow out the Bills. You were wrong.
I didn't say that. I didn't
You
say
said
that.
the
I
Bills
we
were gonna
would beat
lose to the
Bills.
Jags. You were wrong.
For FanDuel, you said Miami
s-
was going to beat Notre Dame, and you were wrong, Ryan, and I was wrong
didn't
too.
say
But
that.
Ryan,
I
$10
said
for FanDuel. Sean versus Ryan. Patriots versus Seahawks.
this is not true. This is rage baiting. This is top tier rage baiting right now.
$10, Ryan.
I think we should do this next year, Frable. You should work with FanDuel. You should give all three of us, a $100 bankroll. We start the
Okay.
season with a $100 bankroll. We have to make 2 picks each week. And at the end of the season, whoever has the most money, wins overall. So we have to make 2
That's
picks.
fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much
I don't have
money
to
are
use
we
my
putting
own
on the game?
$100.
$10
right?
$10 a play. $10 a play.
Okay.
Like the max is a 10. You can bet.
Do I have to use my own $100?
No. Frable's going to talk to FanDuel, and he's going to get paid for us.
Hey, I
Or
would do
Frable
it.
could take his
Hey,
money.
I'm
You know
gonna bet
what,
all
Sean? We've
$100 the
been
first week,
fucking.
Miami.
Can we point out that we've been
versus Notre
fucking
Dame,
slaves for this
$99.
guy? We've been slaves for this guy for the past 9 months, And he can't even give us a thank you.
Ryan,
that's
every time we
crazy.
get a super chat too, Ryan's like, "Thank you so much." But I will say that Ryan's gonna be down to us, Ben, the last week of the season, and he's gonna put all of it towards the stupidest bet and win. He's gonna be down the last week.
Auburn money line.
Yep.
Against Alabama, and then they beat Alabama.
And then they beat Alabama. I told y'all I was better than you all year.
I'm gonna take Steven Jelly 3+ touchdowns.
I'm getting. This is top tier rage baiting and gaslighting right now. This is
gaslighting.
Idiot.
Oh my god!
All right, let's get to our final topic. And get up out of here. Well, like I said, we didn't get to talk about this last week because again, this happened during our break between shows. But Al Washington takes the job with the Miami Dolphins after being elevated from D-line coach to linebackers coach. And was it just 2 days ago or 3 days ago? Notre Dame is they hired former Michigan assistant Brian Jean-Marie as their linebackers coach. He's been a coach for, I believe, almost 30 years. He was the Michigan defensive run game coordinator this past year, which is also the same position that Al Washington held last season with Notre Dame. He's known as a diligent recruiter as well as a hard-nosed coach. And I thought this was interesting when I did my research on him. The interesting Notre Dame connection here is that he was a grad assistant for Lou Holtz during Lou Holtz's time with the South Carolina Gamecocks. So a little Lou Holtz connection there, by the way, sending our prayers to Lou Holtz and the Holtz family. I know it was reported this week that he's in hospice care. So, praying for the best for the legend that he is. But thoughts on Brian Jean-Marie as the new linebackers coach, Sean?
I agree with Lou Holtz. I really hope he'll be okay. A legend. So there's no Notre Dame of what we have now without him, and he's just an entertaining and amazing soul. So I always, when I think of Lou Holtz, I think of like spitting on players, and I'm like, yeah, like get him. I'm just kidding. But he was a unique coach, one of a kind, and kind of an old era, and I love it. But this hire. So yeah, I hope he's okay. But this hire is amazing. I didn't know the connection with South Carolina, so that's really cool to hear, Ryan. But yeah, I mean, Michigan's always had a pretty solid defense. Hate them, but they do. I think he's going to come in, and I actually think this is is it bad that I could say that this could be somewhat of a better hire?
An upgrade?
Upgrade, maybe?
I'm not sure. I think from an experience standpoint, yes.
Al Washington as a leader, I loved. So I hope he can be that.
I will say one of the strong suits of Jean-Marie and his tenure at Michigan, again, he's been recruited. He recruits the linebacker position at a very high level. I believe he's in his time at Michigan. He's gotten 7 top 100 players at the linebacker position. And then this past year, they were top 10 in rush defense, or maybe just on the outside at number 11. So his defenses are very stout, very physical. You know how Michigan linebackers typically are. I know that we don't really like anything maize and blue over here, but they do have very physical linebacker play. They always have good linebackers. So I think the linebacker room is in a really good spot. So I don't really think this is much. I don't think it's a downgrade for sure. I don't think it's a loss. I just don't know how much of an upgrade it is. Ben?
I don't really. I'm not going to speak like I know a lot about this guy. I trust our coaching staff. I say that about every coach we hire. I trust the guys making the decisions. I still think that we were making great hires left and right. My only question with it is like, is this a move because he felt like he had to get out of Michigan due to the changes that were
So
So
coming?
he was already going to leave. He actually, before he took this job, he took the linebacker's job at Georgia Tech.
So what? But was
So
he leaving before Sharon Moore got fired? That's my
no,
question.
no.
So yeah. So was this a move that like he felt like he had to get out of Michigan, or was this a move where he felt like if he wanted to stay in Michigan, he could have?
I think he would have anyway because of the promoting from an assistant to a linebackers coach.
Yeah. That's why I question it a little bit because like it's just because when you have a coach get fired like that, there's questions like, or do these guys want to leave because they want to go to a better team, or are they leaving because they're trying to get away because they know something's gonna maybe they're not as good as what they think they are, or maybe there's a lack of confidence there.
No. Again, I think it's a really solid hire. He's got a lot of experience. He's been a coach for 30 plus years. I think him working with Lou Holtz, I'm sure that he understands Notre Dame. So I think it's a really solid hire. I think, again, like you said, Ben, I trust the coaching staff that
Me too.
when we've needed to make good hires, we've made good hires. So we'll see how this plays out this year. But as of right now, I think this is a really, really good hire.
Yeah, my only question mark is just the confidence of the guy, because confidence goes from your coach to your players. That's how your players gain the most confidence.
I will miss Al Washington, like the blue and gold of him being a blue gold game, a captain coach and a drafting, and just like seeing his presence of like him being a leader. I think he was one of the best leaders we had on our coaching staff.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and then I guess we'll touch on this one last thing, and then we'll get up out of here. But Teddy Gerard, National Signing Day for the last or the real National Signing Day, which is this is an early NSD. When everybody else signs, he's officially signed to, earlier today. So Notre Dame's 2026 class comes to an end. I know people were worried that when he reclassified, Georgia was trying to get back in the picture. I believe Ohio State was also trying to get back in the picture to trying to flip him. He says he's committed to Notre Dame. Just put pen to paper today, and it looks like he will start his journey to maybe being the Notre Dame starter in 2027.
Or 8. I'm not counting out
Or
Carr yet.
2028.
Not counting out.
2028. Thoughts on this?
This great pickup, like we said. I can't wait for the QB battle. I think this summer, we're going to have a QB battle between Gerard and Noah Grubbs for the backup spot. I think it's got to be a really good backup spot. It's got to be the
whisper.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying I'm saying this, but is he better than CJ Carr?
Gerard?
As a prospect, is he?
You know, it's tough, but ESPN put out an article, and
if you ask me.
ESPN put out
not
an article.
Better than Everett Golson, though.
Yeah.
ESPN
did put out an article. Was it earlier this week? I'll try to find it. Where they said that they believe that out of any quarterback in the 2026 class, so that even includes Noah Grubbs.
Yeah, he was the highest prospect was.
He's they said, here it is. According to ESPN, Notre Dame 2026 quarterback commit Teddy Gerard has the most NFL upside of any quarterback in the 2026 class. Even with how talented that class is, he is highly viewed as having the highest NFL upside. This is one of the quote from an NFL scout on Teddy Gerard. He separates himself in practices and games. His poise, preparation, and confidence stand out, and then his physical attributes are similar to those of USC's Jaden Mayava. So I think
actually
that
be good at developing quarterbacks now.
could Gino Gaduli be actually like developing QBs? Like, is that something?
I think CJ Carr is better.
I'd wait on that comment.
This is really.
We had CJ Carr telling fucking plays before every snap.
Switching plays as a freshman?
No, he had to tell before every snap. Do you
Oh,
remember that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd hold off on that comment. Like I said before, Gino Gaduli is 1-0. He's about to be 2-0 of CJ Carr. But I'm going to wait before I make a comment.
He
I'll
could
give
be
him the
3-0.
benefit of the doubt.
He'll get to
He'll be
3-0. And then Ben will be like, we're going to wait. We're going to wait.
And then he's
At
going to
that point-
leave, and he's going to be like, wow, he was awesome.
Like he was a great Cincinnati quarterback. We love Gino here in Clifton. He was a great Cincinnati quarterback. One of the best. Some say he's the best. I don't say he's the best. Some do. But realistically, like, I just have to question it. Like I do. I have to question it. Like just some of the shit that I hear him say, it just makes me want to run my fucking head through a wall. Like just stupid shit left and right.
Yeah, Sloppy Joe, I'm not. What do you exactly mean? I don't think we were saying he's gonna start out of high school, obviously, because the CJ's job this year. But I think this year, like you mentioned, Ben, I think this spring, the goal this spring is to find out who's going to start next year if CJ is gone.
Gerard redshirt. I think.
Yeah, I think both Grubbs and Tage. I think whoever loses QB battle redshirt. I think this will be the backup quarterback battle. I think though,
backup.
I don't think Hebert's a backup. I've heard a lot, but I haven't been on in about 3 weeks. So.
Yeah, no, Hebert is. I don't think really the staff.
Yeah, I don't think they have a lot of belief in Hebert anymore.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, even if let's say spring comes, Noah Grubbs wins the battle. Doesn't mean Noah Grubbs is a guaranteed starter after CJ Carr. We're still gonna have that season going into the next season, where we're gonna see a battle. But it's a good start to it. Like we're gonna see like this. You're saying a base point of how much do you actually improve over time. So that's good.
Yeah. Says I was talking about him being a better prospect than CJ.
I don't think he is or was.
I don't think he is right now.
I was just asking, but I don't think he is or was.
I'll say this. I think he
might be. I think he could end up being better than Carr. I don't know if he'd be a better prospect. It would take a lot. It's a lot of risk to just automatically say, yeah, he's better.
I think him and Carr both have fantastic arm talent, but I think the thing that differentiates the two is that Teddy Gerard is more mobile than Carr is. And that's not to say that Carr's he can't move, but Teddy is more athletic than Carr and is just more of a dual threat than what Carr is, which is kind of where you get the Jaden Maiava, attributes. But I don't, when you say Jaden Maiava attributes, I want the good parts of Jaden Maiava, not the, hey, I throw 5 touchdown passes, but I also throw 3 interceptions, 2 of which go for pick sixes, like the Jameis Winston effect. So yeah, I think I also think it's funny that what was it? You watch the Under Armour All American game, dude balled out, and it was like it's an All American game. Dude just chucks a ball up there just to say fuck it, and Joey O'Brien checks that thing down, like. And that was his mom commented under it. It's like, yeah, they're already getting that work in QB wide receiver duo. Thought that was interesting. I guess Teddy was trying to get Joey to, play more receiver at Notre Dame, which is funny. But yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to say that he's going to be better than CJ for sure. I think based out of being in high school, I think I like Teddy just as much as I like CJ, but I don't know if it's just hard to say. It really is.
A Ole Miss quarterback just officially declined for eligibility. Just got the notification.
He got denied?
Yeah.
Yep, so Ole Miss needs...
Now he has to go be a 3rd-round pick in the NFL. Oh, how much it sucks for him. This is what pisses me off.
Yeah, bro. He's played college
We're
ball
gonna
for
have
7
a
years.
segment about this shit. This is what pisses me off. You have a chance to go be a 3rd-round pick. Oh, I want to go play another year in college. You're not going to improve. You're 24.
You've played 7 years. Go fucking get a job.
You're in your prime. Start the LinkedIn page or something.
Wait a minute. Didn't Mendoza have a LinkedIn while he was
Yeah,
playing?
he did.
That?
He was like,
Hey,
wow,
hey,
such
he
an
was
honor winning the Heisman.
Try that, Shaler. Accomplishments, SEC, 2nd team. Sugar Ball champ.
Does he
this
play-
internship? Where's this internship at? Rebel Rags.
Kurt Eddie's house.
Does he play with trains? That's the main thing.
I saw a clip. It was from the Heisman where it was like Julian saying Fernando Mendoza and Diego Pavia talking. They're walking down the street. I saw it. I'm sitting there freaking like Diego Pavia is definitely saying some fucked up shit. And Fernando Mendoza's like, yeah, man, we really like trades. What's my legal collection?
Dude,
Diego Pavia is like, bleep, bleep, bleep. And
what was it?
Diego Pavia's like, I had this stripper bitch over last night, bro. Oh my god, dude, this chick could suck a fucking golf ball through a garden hose. And Fernando Mendoza's like, you went through my twains.
Dude, I saw when we were at a space and somebody brought this up. It was like, dude, could you imagine Julian saying being there? You had the crash out and Diego Pavia sitting next to him, a dude who plays with trains, and a dude who loves anime and comic books, and Julian saying the only thing is like he's a normal kid from Cali.
Julian saying's like, what the fuck? I thought we were supposed to be the cool kids in high school. What the fuck happened? Why we got the crackheads fucking kid here? We got the kid that fucking makes airplane sounds going down the hallway. And then we got the athletic guy who just fucking blew everybody up.
We got the kid. We got the kid in high school that runs with his arms back like he's in Naruto.
And he beat me? He beat me?
That was Julian saying. Diego Pavia was like, fuck Fernando Mendoza, fuck those. Julian saying should be like, I'm going to take it a year, guys. This motherfucker just.
Hey, Diego Pavia was like, hey, Julian saying, you want to hang out after this? And he's like, I'm okay.
Hey, Mendoza's like,
he's
you want to see my twains?
I don't want to get VD, so I'm not going to hang out. Tell your mom to stop DMing me, please. Much preferred.
Mendoza's like, hey, you want to see my
Diego
twains?
Pavia's like, yeah, my mom's dating Theo Vaughn. And Mendoza's like, my mom and my dad and my parents, and I love them so much. I love it, though.
You see Step Brothers?
How could you not love Mendoza, though? Like the
he's awesome.
He's so wholesome and such an amazing guy, and I love it.
At the end of the day, this is all shitting on Diego Pavia because Diego Pavia's a piece of shit.
I hate Diego Pavia. I love
We all love the other three.
I think he went to the
You
Super Bowl
basically, hold on a
himself.
second.
Such an amazing
You
guy.
basically could have just called the Heisman ceremony this year "Love on the Spectrum." So
that's a crazy story. What the
Ryan,
fuck?
I'm disappointed in you. You don't make fun of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't make
what?
feelings.
What, bro? It's not.
I'm calling your wife.
Nope, that's too far. I mean, we were talking about how great of a guy Mendoza is, and you've just been making train jokes. And we're like, yeah, Mendoza's so awesome. And you're like talking about, this is
crazy.
Phil's about to go full. He's about to go full Kanye here in a little bit.
Oh yeah, man, totally.
Oh my god. We're gonna have a new podcast host. His name is Brian Ravel.
Yeah,
Brian Ravel.
By the way,
our new podcast host, Marcus Burton.
By the way, I'm on the spectrum, so I can make that joke. All right, I just don't have trains and I don't have anime. All right.
You're Notre Dame.
On the spectrum. Anyone born after 2001 or yeah.
I was born in 1999. Yes.
So you're just boring because you're not on the spectrum.
No, Phil was just a fucking idiot. Okay,
We're
we're done.
right.
We're good for tonight.
Yeah, we're
We
good.
talked about trains enough.
What? A short episode. It turns out
Hey.
short was right, but
Yeah.
not the short that we were talking about at first, Ryan. Yeah.
All right. Let's get out of here.
I'm disappointed in you, Ryan.
Do you think
Ben,
Fernando?
talk to him. Hold on.
Do you think?
Thank you guys for watching. This was another episode of Notre Dame Primetime Live, Voice of College Football. I'm your host, ND Forever, with the guy that
episode before we get canceled. He muted him.
Anyways, guys, for the 198 people that tuned in tonight,
198 people just listen to us talk about trades.
Yeah,
Diego Pavia's mom getting blasted by Theo Vaughn. I love the internet. It's amazing.
I appreciate you guys all tuning in. We'll be back next week at the same time. Anyways, I am your host, Ryan Ravel, with my co-hosts Ben and Sean, aka ND Forever. This has been Notre Dame Primetime Live on the Voice of College Football Notre Dame, presented by FanDuel. We will see you guys next week. As always, stay safe and go Irish.
Go out.